Hello everybody. So today I am going to do kind of a purpley pink romantic look, but still not like over the top. Like I don't want to do like a super full coverage, super glam foundation look. And so yeah, we're just gonna get started. I did already prime my eyes only because that's not really anything too exciting and I use the same method every time, so you don't need to see it every week. So I just use concealer and translucent powder if you're new here and you don't know how I like to do it. I like to do it that way because the eyeshadow will blend a lot better if you set your eye primer or your concealer with powder. I just find that that works really well for me. So anyway, I am going to be using the Naked 3 palette today, and I know this is not the first tutorial I've done with this palette, but I have a look in mind I want to try with it, and I want to see how that turns out. So I am going to find my eyeshadow brushes, which is always a struggle. Here it is. Got it. Okay. So first, as I usually do, I am going to take this really light color called Strange, and I'm going to take that all over the lid. And I do have a history of really liking the Naked 3 palettes. I did just get the Naked Heat palette, so I do have a look I want to try with that. But so far, there's stuff I want to try with it that I don't have, so I'm still missing stuff. But once I have everything, I will make sure I put that up as well. And then I am going to go in with this Limit color, which is almost like a light mauvey purple, I would say. I think it has maybe a tiny bit of like, it's like more of a gray toned mauvey purple. So I think it makes a good crease color. It is matte, and this palette is some matte, some shimmer, which I really like because I think that you can do a lot more looks with, if you have both, as opposed to if you just have one, because you know me and I like the sparkle. So I'm just going to place that still pretty low. I don't want to bring that too high up into the crease, but I still want to keep it pretty low and controlled like that. So take this and then just kind of do the same thing. And then I'm going to take this Nooner color right here, which is like a darker, more mauve, like a less gray purpley toned. It's more of like a mauvey purple. And I think it's going to be really pretty to kind of put just a little bit on top and kind of layer those together. Because for this, I'm layering colors because I want depth and dimension. So I'm going to kind of go over with that mauvey purple. And I'm so happy Urban Decay came out with this palette, even though it's not like a new Naked palette. I'm still really happy that they have something in there, that there is something like this out there. Because, I mean, I think the Anastasia palette, maybe like the Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette, are kind of comparable, but not quite the same as this. Because the Huda Beauty is definitely more pink and more golds, which is still beautiful, don't get me wrong. I look at it in Sephora every day and I'm like, why haven't I bought you yet? But the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette is more like warm red tones, which are also gorgeous. But I like that this has like the pinks and the purples. So I really love this palette. And then next I am going to take, this is actually going to be a really basic eye look today. I'm going to take this Buzz color and I'm going to mix it with Burnout because I want to get the pink and the purple. So, and I don't really want to layer them because I want them both to kind of come through almost equally. So I'm going to take that on the brush that comes with the palette, and I'm just going to kind of pack that on the eye. The Urban Decay Naked palettes tend to come with really nice brushes, especially the Naked Smoky palette. I find myself reaching and looking for that when I'm not even using any of the colors in that palette. I just really want that blending brush. So I'm going to pack that on nice and good there. But I did the crease colors before because I want everything to like fade up and kind of not be like an ombre, but not be too abrupt either. I want there to be kind of like a nice fade and have it just kind of be, you know, nice and like soft, and I don't want to say natural because it's kind of the whole point of using makeup, but take that and I'm just going to put a little bit more on just to make sure that color is the way I want it. And these colors are not too shimmery. They're more like, I would call them maybe like a satin finish, but I even hesitate to use that word because they're not a full matte, but they're not really shimmery or glittery. Here, I'll actually swatch them for you. Yeah, that's almost like metallic, sort of. And that's the Buzz color, and then Dust is right here. And then that's, again, they're more like metallic sparkles as opposed to like a big glittery sparkle, but you know me, I will take sparkle any way I can get it. So with that, I'm going to go in with my eyeliner, and this is quickly becoming my favorite eyeliner that I've tried yet, and I've tried a few of them. This is the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner, and fun fact about Kat Von D, she's actually a very famous tattoo artist, and she makes makeup, which I think is very, very cool. I mean, I'm sure it's like $1,000 to get a tattoo done by her, which I don't have any tattoos, so I would have no interest in that, but I am loving her new makeup, and I really want to try the new Saint and Sinner perfumes. So I'm going to take this, and this is very easy to work with, but I do have to stop talking because I can't do eyeliner and talk at the same time. And I'm just going to line my top lash line. And then I'm going to do the other eye. There we go. I think those are even. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going for like a hugely thick line, so I'm just going to leave it like that for now. And then with that, my eyes are actually done, so I'm going to go on to my face. And for primer today, I am going to be using something a little different. This is the MAC Strobe Cream, and this is not, I'm not sure this is really a primer, but I like it to kind of give my foundation more of a sparkly glow from, like, lit from within kind of look, to put it underneath foundation. And you can even put this under full coverage foundation and you'll still see it. So what I have been liking doing is I will put some on the back of my hand, and I try to make kind of a generous amount, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on my skin, but then with the leftover product, I'm going to mix that in with my foundation. So it kind of gives the same idea as when I use like my Becca Backlight Primer in with my foundation, but it's just a different product, and I wanted to kind of switch it up a little bit. The only thing I will say is I don't know how much this product will do as far as making your makeup last longer. So if you're really oily and if you have problems with your makeup leaving, then I would suggest one of a couple things to you. I would either suggest you get a good setting powder that's going to kind of control oil and shine and make your makeup stay, or I would suggest that you get maybe like a mattifying primer or a smoothing primer and put that down first, and then maybe mix something like this in with your foundation, because I'm not always a huge fan of layering tons and tons and tons of product on top of your skin, but I am a huge fan of mixing products. I think that you can create some really beautiful concoctions if you mix stuff together. Grab my foundation brush because I'm going to need that. And then I am going to go in with the Benefit Hello Flawless Foundation. I've had this for a while. As you can tell, it's almost gone. This is more like a medium, I would say like a sheer to medium coverage foundation. The one thing I do like about it, though, is it is very buildable. It is very easily buildable, and it doesn't cake up, and it feels not watery, but it feels very, like, comfortable on the face. It doesn't feel cakey. It doesn't feel super, like, oh. Like, it's just very, it's a nice foundation. I have a history of liking Benefit's products, though, so I'm just going to take my Morphe M439 brush, and I'm going to put that all over my face. As you can see, I have been self-tanning, so this color may look a little bit light for me, but that is okay because that is why God invented bronzer. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of just buff this into my skin. Again, you want to pat and like pounce. You don't want to swipe because then you will wipe product off your face, and that kind of defeats the whole purpose. So I'm going to make sure we put that nice and evenly over our skin. And if you are a self-tanner like me and you have, like, you go through different colors that you get, like, during different times of the year, what you can also do is you can mix some, like, liquid bronzer into your foundation and make it a little bit darker. Whereas I'm just going to make sure I buff this in really good because I'm not going for a super full coverage today, and I think that every woman should have a range of different types of foundations because not every day calls for a super full coverage. Like, you don't need a super full coverage for a foundation to be good. So I'm just going to really buff that in because the goal is that it looks even and that it looks flawless and airbrushed. And you can see, like, the strobe cream's kind of making it look very glowy and very dewy and lit from within, and that was the whole point. So I am done with that. But again, like I said, if you do want more of a coverage than this, you can build this up to be more like full coverage if you so choose. But today I'm not going for that. So I am actually going to use two different concealers today. I am going to use the Benefit Boing Concealer. I think that's how you say it. I feel like there's supposed to be a sound effect there. So, and this concealer comes in a pot, and this is actually like a little sample size I got from Sephora, so the full size would be bigger than this. And I don't know if this is new because I really want to say I've heard of this stuff before, and it is the Benefit Airbrush Concealer, and I'm going to use this under my eyes with my Morphe E8 brush. I think this is, the label starting to wear off because I use it so much. But I'm just going to put this under my eyes in the same kind of patting motion that I use with my foundation. And I just kind of pat the brush into the product. Again, you don't want to like sweep or dig because you will get way more product than you need on your brush. So I'm just going to kind of press that into the skin to just kind of cover up any unsightly dark circles. And I have found this concealer doesn't crease, which I really like, but if you do have problems with your concealer creasing, one of the things you can try is either mixing it with an eye cream or make sure your under eyes are really, really hydrated, because if they're hydrated, your concealer and your makeup in general is just going to go on so much smoother, and it's not going to crease as easily because it's going to be more hydrated. Oh, and I'm using the Naked Skin Concealer to kind of conceal just like my nose and my tops of my forehead, just places my foundation tends to break up, and I don't want it to do that. So, but yeah, if you use an eye cream and either mix it in with your concealer or just put it under your eyes to give your face some extra hydration, then that should really help. Because foundation and concealer on hydrated skin will in general perform better. Like, your makeup is just as much about the quality of your skin and how you take care of that as it is about the products you use and the blending techniques and the tools you use and all that. So skincare, very, very important. And if you are confused as to like what products you should use, either go get a facial with a professional esthetician or go to Sephora and have them talk to you and match you. So yeah, that's concealer. The only thing is that you will need to wash your brush a lot if you use a concealer like this because it is kind of thick. So I'm just putting that out there. So next I'm going to go in with bronzer. Or actually no, I'm going to set my face a little bit with powder first. Just to kind of make sure everything doesn't move and whatnot. So I'm not going to use a ton. This is the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish powder, which again, I've used this before, but it does give a very sheer coverage. So if you're using a foundation that you want extra coverage with, then I would do like the MAC Studio Fix or something like that, because that's going to give more coverage. But if you just want something to kind of set it and you don't want to use a translucent powder, speaking of powder, I never set my under eyes. Where's my brush? Where is my concealer brush? Oh, there it is, right in front of my face. I'm just going to set my under eyes really fast with the Laura Mercier translucent powder. If you're oily, you'll really like this on your skin to set your whole face. I'm kind of just normal right now because I've been taking really good care of my skin lately. So I haven't really had problems with oil, but if you are like oily or even combination, set this on your problem areas and it will really help decrease shininess and oiliness. For me, it just helps my concealer stay in place and helps it not go anywhere, which I really appreciate. So now I'm going to go in with my bronzer. And this is the Bare Minerals Invisible Bronzer. I've used this before. I really love this. I like that it comes in different shades. Like, it comes in I have the fair to light, but there is like a medium to dark shade as well. So if you're a little bit deeper in skin tone, then there is a shade for you as well. And I'm using my Morphe E4. And what I've started doing recently, and I'm trying not to cake on the bronzer quite as much as I used to, is I just kind of take my bronzer up on my forehead like this. And make sure I get it even, so it kind of warms up my complexion and my forehead. And I feel like I never have the best lighting out here, so it always is darker than it looks on camera. So I'm going to kind of do that. And then I'm going to put my bronzer down for now, and I'm going to go in with blush. And I'm going to use the Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-hour blush in Dollface. I almost said Blushing Bride. And Dollface, but Blushing Bride's also a beautiful color. And I picked this color for this outfit because it has like a more purpley undertoned pink. Here, I'll swatch it really fast. But it still gives a very light wash of color. It's right there, and I don't know if the camera's picking that up. Yeah, it's really not. So it still gives a very light wash of color. It's very buildable, so you're not going to look like you have like this color cheeks. Not at all. But I really liked this purpley undertone for the kind of eye look that I was doing, because I wanted everything to kind of match a little bit. And I find that pink and purple tend to pop when worn with blue, especially with all the pink on the shirt. So there is my blush. And I am going to go in with my bronzer again, and I'm just going to kind of take it and just swoop it on my cheeks. Not a ton, because I don't want to totally cover up the blush. I just want to give it a little bit warmer of a look. So there's that. And then for highlighter, I'm going to take my Anastasia Nicole Guerrero palette. And I think this one's just perfect. I mean, I don't have that many highlighters, but even if I had every highlighter in the world, I still would use this palette for this look. And I'm going to take Forever Young, which is like this purpley shade right here. And I'm just going to go put that right there. And then tap off the excess because this product is very pigmented. And a little bit does go a very long way. And then I'm going to take Kitty Cat, which is this pink shade. And I am going to go kind of over that. So I get the purple and the pink. And then I'm going to go and do the same thing over here. And take this. I think I'm going to mix them for the nose highlight. Kind of mix those and then go down. And strobe a little bit on my forehead. I'm not going for too, I'm not going for, too much of a, glowing for the gods look. I'm going for a very, lit from within romantic vibe. Because I see flowers and I just think romance. So, I mean, that's what we're going to go with. So now, I'm going to prep my lips. Where's my lip exfoliator? Here it is. Do that. And then I'm going to go to my brows. And as usual, I'm going to use my unique brow palette, which I've said 1,000 times how much I love. And go into this. And I need to get a new one of these because I'm almost out of this wax. Or I need to get a brow gel or something to set my brows. Because sometimes they have a mind of their own. And I also need to get in and see Leanne very soon and have her reshape these puppies. And so I'm just going to kind of take the lightest shade in the palette and I'm going to fill in my brows like that. And then I'm going to take the darker shade and just kind of fill in the tail end like such. And there's that. And then I'm going to put some, or just I'm going to grab my brow pencil and fill in my brows. On the outside here. You want to go in very light, almost like flicking motions because you want to imitate the look of hair as much as possible. And then I'm going to take this spoolie on the end and blend everything together so that nothing looks harsh and nothing looks out of place and everything looks very blended and natural. Well, not too natural, but so that everything looks blended together. And then I'm going to take the setting wax in the brow palette and I'm going to just kind of set my brows like that. And I also kind of think I need to highlight my brow bone, so I think I'm going to do that as well. And for that, I think I'm just going to use my highlighter, so I will take my Nicole Guerrero Anastasia kit and just mix a little bit of Forever Young, a little bit of Kitty Cat, and just kind of go on the high point of my brow, like that. Do this side. And call that good. And then I am going to do some setting spray, and then I'll do my lips and mascara, because whenever I do mascara before setting spray, my setting spray makes my mascara get everywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and do this first. And this, by the way, is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Marine Boosting Mist, which I love it. It smells like oranges. It's very natural, very organic, but really a lot of stuff Tarte puts out is vegan. I think all of it's organic. So, as a brand, I love Tarte. And then I am going to go in with mascara, and I'm going to use the Estee Lauder Sumptuous Knockout Mascara. And I'm just going to go ahead and put that on my lashes. And I really like this mascara because it does length and volume well. And I find a lot of mascaras can give you length or can give you volume. And I haven't seen very many that do both. And this one is really, really good. I would really recommend these if you like to wear falsies, because this will make your natural lashes blend in really well with your false lashes. So just kind of go in and do that. And then in the bottom lashes, I can't talk while I do this, but I'm just going to kind of stamp the mascara on my bottom lashes. Okay. Maybe I need a little more product on there. Okay. Do the other eye. A little bit more. Really, I just want to kind of make my lashes more black in color, and so that way they stand out and make my eyes look more wide awake. So, there's my lashes, and then I am going to go in with my lips, and I am going to use MAC's Cream Cup lipstick, which is a beautiful pink shade. It's swatched right there. I really love it. I think it has a little bit of like a baby, it's like a baby pink with a little bit of purpley undertone in it, so I think it'll be really pretty. So we're going to try this. Okay, so there's that, and then if you know me at all, you know that I love my glosses and my sparkle, so I'm going to go on top of this with the Bare Minerals Plumping Moxie glosses. They're the new glosses from Bare Minerals, and I'm going to go in the shade 24 Karat, and here I'll swatch it really fast for you. Look how that's so glittery. I don't know if the camera's picking it up as well as I'd like it to, but it is very glittery. It doesn't have a ton of color to it, which I like because I want the color of the lipstick to come through, but I really want that glitter and that shine and that gloss. So, on top. And this is the completed look. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you get inspired, I as always would love to see your creations. And until then, I will see you in my next video, where I think we're probably going to play with the Huda Beauty palette. I think that's what we're going to do. So until then, I will see you next time. Bye bye.